afternoon all. So 17 to 24, these are our questions. Main source of drinking water, availability of drinking water source, lighting, latrine, wastewater, bathing facility, kitchen and LPG, and main fuel use for questions. Let's go one by one. So the 17th question, the first question in this session is about main source of drinking water. Okay. I am just putting 2-3 sentences here because you know that water will be used in our house or by every household or in every census house for different purposes. No. So, but our question is about drinking water. So that we have to highlight because in urban areas or in certain rural areas, now it's a practice that you are getting water, good potable water also, but still people use bottled water for drinking. Okay, that's a practice. So we have to specify, the enumerator specify that we are asking about the drinking water and what is the main source of drinking water. Maybe seasonally in different seasons, you will be having different sources, or on all seasons also you might be having 1 or 2 sources. So our question is about the main source of drinking water. So the question is about not water, it's about drinking water, and it's about the main source of drinking water. So we have 10 codes, 1 to 9 and 0. So for the tap water, we have a bifurcation, then we have a well. Earlier in 2011, who have worked, we know that we had a bifurcation for well also, covered well and uncovered well. That is not now there. Then we have hand pump, tube well, borehole, spring we have, river canal we have, tank, pond, lake, packaged bottle and other sources. Whichever cannot be included in that 9 codes, we will be including in the code 0. That is our last code. So we have different qualities of water. We have water from different sources. The ground level water also is coming from different heights and different depths. Water is coming. So as I said, if we are having multiple sources, we will be selecting the source which is frequently used or for the major part of the year. Okay. So the first code is tap water from treated source. If it is supplied to the household through. So first is tap, then is treated. So 2 parts are coming. So tap water is generally when a household is getting water through taps, that is a group of houses, it is supplied by to a group of houses. Okay, that means by a government agency or a private agency or a panchayats or a local body. So when it is coming to the household through pipes or to the premises or a common tap, it is called as a tap water. So now we will go for treatment. So treatment means something is done with the water. Okay, so treated water means to enhance its quality, something is being done. Okay, maybe some chemical treatment or some filtration or some reverse osmosis or something. So this is just an, picture that from there is a source, then it goes to the treatment plant, then it is distributed and we get in the household. So this is ideally your first code, that is tap water from treated sources. Okay, if I'm getting water from somewhere and if I'm treating at home, will we treat as a treated? No. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that takes us to the next option, tap water from untreated source. Okay, so from the source without any treatment, it is being supplied directly to the households. Okay, so the tap water is the same. It is the tap water coming from a common place, I mean by the government or some other agencies, but it's not at all being treated, and directly from that source without any treatment, that water is being supplied to the household, then we take that as tap water from the untreated sources. Okay, so even if the local body or the government is doing some chlorination or some chemical treatment also, it does not mean that the entire big paraphernalia of the treatment plant should be there. Even if some chemical or some chlorinization or some treatment is done, it also will be treated as the tap water from treated source. If nothing is done, then we will take it as a untreated source. Already I have told that even household, when you after getting in household is doing some treatment, that doesn't mean that water is from the treated source. Okay. So then we have some underground waters like well, hand pump and tube well. Okay. These are the 3 sources of the underground water. So each will be coming from different heights and the mode of taking will be different also. So well, I told you it includes both covered and the uncovered well. If the household is taking drinking water from the well, we will code it as code number 3. And if it is a hand pump, so a hand pump, what is being done, how it is different from hand pump and borehole. Hand pump means the groundwater is taken out manually using a hand pump. In the borehole, it will be with the help of a electric pump or diesel pump or petrol pump. It will be with a machine that the water is being taken out. Okay. So these are the codes 3, 4, and 5. You might know it's self-explanatory, and I have a little bit explained also. It is there on the screen also, the different pictures. Now we have some natural resources. Spring, river canal, tank, pond, lake. Okay. If the household is taking water from a spring, we give the code 6. And if it is taken from a river or canal, we give code 7. And if it is taken from a tank, pond, or lake, we give it as code number 8. So these three are natural resources. Is there any difference between these three things? Why we have a different codes for these three things? Yeah. One is stagnant water, another is moving water, and the spring is out of these three, spring is considered to be more clear and more purity. The purity is different. So that's why, even though these are all natural water bodies, this is why these three are given different codes, 6, 7, and 8. Then 9, we have added a new code. 2011, it was not there. That is drinking water packed in bottles. That is bottled water. Okay, packed in bottles, jars, pouches, and similar containers. So whenever we are telling about the bottled water, it should certainly meet certain safety standards. Okay, so it's like packaged water means we expect that there will be some kind of safety standards in that bottle. So whatever, even if it is packed in a big jar or a small jar, it's not matter. If that household is using bottled water for drinking purpose. Okay, that is important. They may be having other source also, but if they are using bottled water as their main source of drinking water, we give it as a code 9. Now code 0. If we cannot code that source of their drinking water in any of these codes, then code 0 comes. Okay, other sources. We have some example for that. Rainwater harvesting. If a household is using rainwater harvesting, it should be the main source of drinking water. Only if that rainwater harvesting is their main source of drinking water, code 0 will come, because it won't fit in any of the other codes what we are having. And if that household is relying on the water tanker or the water supplied through a lorry or tanker to their household, then also code 0 will come. And nowadays there are water kiosks by private people, also by the municipalities or corporations. There are water kiosks also. Okay, that also will come under other sources. These are some examples only. There may be other sources also which you are not able to code in the other codes specified. So all those you will be coding in code number 0. Then once we have decided what is the household's main source of drinking water, so that source is decided, then we will ask them that source, whether is it in your premises or away from, near the premises or away from your premises. This is our next question. Availability of drinking water source. That is within the premises, near the premises, and away. So this is why we learned the definition premises to code this. Okay, so each definition comes into play for the questions, for each questions. Somewhere it will be about the building, somewhere it will be about the HLB, somewhere it will be about the premises, somewhere it will be about the building, census house, household. So all the definitions we are studying is for coding and understanding these questions. Okay. So premises comes to play in this question. So within premises, that is your source of water is within our premises, tap or well or hand pump, whatever it is. Or if you are getting the packaged water, bottled water at your doorstep, then that code will be giving within premises. The next is if the source is located close to the house, but not the premises, near the premises. Okay, so now we are defining what is near the premises. If in an urban area, if the source is within 100 meters, then it is called as near the premises. For rural, even if it is within 500 meters, it is called near the premises. For the city, which will one we choose this time? For the census towns? Rural. It will be treated as 500 meters. Okay. Then now we have decided that whether it's within premises or near the premises. If it is not within premises or near the premises, then of course it will be away from the premises. Okay, so that means if it is more than 100 meters for an urban area, it will be away from the premises, and if it is more than 500 meters, it will be away for the rural area. Okay, good. All of you know that. Just I'm killing your time, I think, and refreshing. Okay. Then next is main source of lighting. Here also main comes to play, because people may be having one or two sources, different seasons may be different this thing. So whatever it is, our question is main source of lighting. So whenever you are taking class for enumerator, we should always tell them you should not just see and decide what is the source of lighting or source of drinking water, any question. So he has to ask them Okay. So main source of lighting. So last 12 months, which was the main source of lighting? So here one or two source code, of course, majority will be electricity. We feel so that government is telling that almost all villages are electrified. But still, are we going about the policies of the government that one village is electrified, whether the enumerator will put code 1 for entire village, or will we ask? We have to ask, no. Because census is about the ground reality, or asking each and every person, each and every eligible person the questions. In the first phase, the eligible means the household. In the second phase means each person. No. Okay, so we'll be asking, so electricity, then we have a code for other oil. So other oil code for is source of lighting means it can be an edible oil or it can be an other oil also, non-edible oil also. If their household is using some oil for lighting, then other than kerosene, it will come in code 4. We'll see all the codes. And if in an exceptional circumstances, the household does not use any source of lighting, then code 6 will come. Okay, no lighting. That means they are not using any source of lighting. Okay, once the sun is down, they are not using any lighting in their households. Then that code 6 will come. Discussion came whether we can drop this. Some people will be using at least some source, some candle or something. But there are households in India. 2011 also we had, there are some households in some parts of India who are not using any source of lighting. Okay. So we are not still in the position to drop this. After the census, let's see what's the data coming out of this. But we have to tell the enumerators that they should be very clear in while coding all these things. When the rarest of the rare things, when they are coding, they should be very clear. Okay, earlier while doing in paper, our problem was not clearly writing the codes. Okay, 1 used to become 7, 7 used to become 1, or the codes difference and all these things. Now what will be what can be the problem while selecting the codes? Concepts, of course, there, but in recording, if they know the concepts also, because last time, when we had that square, when we are writing 7 means that top word came on that box itself. So while the coding, it was only 1. Now the issue will be that while you are clicking the responses in the mobile, if you're not correctly, instead of first one, maybe that click is going on the second one. Okay, that can happen, no? Even when we are doing also, when we are typing, you can see that always that top numbers will change, or selecting something, we also make mistakes. So that's why enumerator should not be in a hurry while coding or asking questions or recording the responses. So we should tell them, this also we should tell, while you are selecting the codes, the concepts will be clear. You will be asking the questions correctly. You will be getting the correct answer. You know the correct answer, but be careful that while, selecting, that you have opted the correct one. That is why after recording all the questions, preview is very important. So reading out the responses is not only good for the respondent also, responses to respondent, it is good for the enumerator also. Of course, okay, whatever I meant, that has come already correctly. It's okay. So that's important. So these are some source of lighting, electricity, that kerosene, other oil, without lighting. And I wanted to show that solar, but it is not coming correctly. That's a solid, it's showing just like a table lamp. Okay, we'll try to put that picture correctly. Okay, we have option, 1 second, electricity, 1, kerosene, 2, 3, solar, 4, other oil, 5, any other. We have any other option, which we cannot. Okay, candles, if some household is using candles for lighting, okay, they are only using candles for majority of the time, then it will come any other. So if you some lighting thing which cannot be coded in 1, 2, 3, 4 will come in code number 5. And if an household is not having any lighting arrangement, it will come in code 6. Yes, the question is access to latrine. Okay, access to latrine. So if a household is having access that exclusively for that particular household, the code will be 1. That house is having a latrine, it is for their exclusive use, then code 1 will be coming. Then code 2 is, if the latrine, a household is having a shared latrine, that means a latrine is shared with 2 houses or few houses or more houses. It is being shared, code 2. Then third I am telling is that if household does not have a latrine, but the members of the household are using public latrine, code 3. So what is the difference between public and shared? Shared means generally it will be shared within some number of people. Okay. Public means anybody can go. anybody can use means with the fees or without the fees also. Sometimes it will be with the payment or sometimes it will be without a payment. Okay, so the three options are clear. One is exclusively for the particular household. If a household is using exclusively for their use, it is code 1. Then it is shared with more than one household, it is code 2. And if it is a public latrine, anybody has, an household is using a public latrine which has access to anybody, either by payment or not, it will come code 3. And if an household is not having access, okay, important, not having an access, and they are telling that they are doing open defecation, then code will be code 4. So the probing is important, whether we have to ask them whether you are having an access. Okay, so that is why. So this is one of the data which is going to come to evaluate or assess one of the major programs of the government also. So the data what we should give, okay, because census department, we are responsible for the quality and correct data. The data what we give should be correct, but it should not be a wrong data because of the wrong understanding of the concept by the enumerator. Okay, so we should give the ground reality, but we should give it correctly. Sir, please.
What if a household is having the latrine facility, but they are not using it?
Using.
Yeah.
Not using.
Because we have found the cases in villages,
Ah.
they are using it as a go down.
Yes. But it access, but they are telling that I'm using it. Access means that is where it is important. I'm an access, I'm sometimes using, I'm an access, but in this case, they are not at all using. Because now, if they are using it as a storage, do they have access to latrine?
They are not using it at all.
Then you give code 4.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Because this is not about having some asset or facility.
Yes.
Because our code 4 is, what is our code 4? Open defecation.
Sir, Shailendra-ji, you were also part of drafting the manual initially, 2021. That time it was deliberated because there is one cell in PMO, I think, or some senior officer is monitoring this data. And they had come in 2020. And that time it was deliberated a lot. Having access is the question, not its use.
Yeah.
Whether the household has the latrine, that is the question. They may be using it as a go down, they may be using it as storage or for any other purpose, and they may be going for open defecation. Still, the question reads access to latrine. So we have to record, yes, they do have access to latrine.
I'll tell you, sir, but in this case, it is clearly used for another purpose. Can we tell that it is access?
No,
sir.
no. In that case, what will happen, sir? In that case, what will happen, since this is a sensitive issue, let us have a decision or clarity. We will contradict to the government administrative data because some incentive is given for building the latrines in villages.
Sir, the question is,
No, let him complete. Let him complete, please.
Yeah.
Let him complete. Let him complete.
So when the funds are given to the household for building the latrine, they have access. Now, whether they are using it or not, that is not the job of census organization to ascertain. We have to substantiate our data to the administrative data. If tomorrow, suppose as sir was saying, some villages are declared as ODF, like in many states, there would be certain number of villages which are ODF. And afterwards, if the data shows no, these many villages still have open defecation, then the census data will be under scrutiny. So we have to clarity. The question reads access to the latrine. It does not read use of the latrine or not availability.
Okay, then now all our codes, latrine codes, we have 10 codes, 9 plus 0. It is basically divided into this part, flush, pour flush systems, pit latrines, service latrines, and direct disposal to drainage. So these are the basic 4 divisions. Out of this 4, the other codes are coming. Okay, so first 3 are flush or pour flush system, and whether that system is connected to the pipe sewer system, or whether that flush system is connected to the septic tank, or whether that flush system is connected to the other system. Then comes the twin pit latrine, whether the twin pit latrine is with slab and improved pit with ventilation, and whether the twin pit latrine is without slab or open pit, and then comes the single pit with the bifurcation of with slab and without slab. Then comes our manual scavenging part, night soil removed by humans, and then is the night soil removed by animals, and last is night soil disposed into the open drain. Okay. So pipe pure system generally is like this, that flush lateral is connected to the underground sewerage that is maintained by the public authorities. Okay. In the cities or the towns, maybe not for all towns and all cities are not there. So that is connected to the public sewerage system, and the waste material is taken to a disposal unit or some units like that. Septic tank is flush lateral is connected to underground septic tank. Septic tank means a tank which is having a sealed tank, a proper tank for that purpose, and it is cleaned periodically. Yeah. And if it is other system, that is flush pore system is connected to open drainage or to any other system, we'll give the code 3. Okay. Then comes the pit latrine. Pit latrine, we have a single pit and twin pit. Okay. So twin pit is a better design, that if one pit is completed, then that wall will go then to another pit. By the time the first pit will turn into dust or manure or something like that. That is the difference between the single pit and double pit, twin pit. And here also we have with slab and with ventilated. What does ventilated means? That the latrine is having good one kidki, koldia, the ventilation. Is it like that? Ventilated. Then what is ventilated? That is air pipe. Okay. So that is ventilated. Not ventilation for the person who is sitting inside. Okay. So that is the ventilated pit. Okay. Then pit latrine without slab, open pit. That also we have 2 codes, 5 and 7. Pictorial representation as far as possible it is given. Okay. Then comes the service latrine. Okay, waste collected in bucket and container removed manually by humans. So we feel that in India it is not there. It should not be there. Okay. So let's see what for the pretest that data has come. For the pretest also, the open defecation has come. So open defecation, there is a chance also, I feel, because we have purposefully selected some interior place for pretest in all this. So in some interior places in the forest areas and all, maybe there are open defecation. Okay. So then open drain disposal. I mean, latrine exists, but the waste is disposed directly to the open drainage or to some river or something. It's just open drain disposal. Okay, then we come to the wastewater outlet. Okay, so wastewater outlet, whether that wastewater outlet is connected to a closed drainage system. Wastewater means, what is wastewater? Includes water from the kitchen, bath and wash water, not from the latrine waste. Okay, if there is a common disposal, this is important, common disposal of both latrine and wastewater, select appropriate code based on the drainage system. That means if that household is having a common drainage system for the latrine and bathroom, and if it is going through a closed drainage, then what code will come? Code 1 will come. If it is a open drainage, code 2 will come. Then come what bathing facility within the premises. Here important is that it should be within the premises. Okay. Bathing facility within the premises. So bathroom facility by one or more household will have code 1 or code 2 as applicable, because it will be treated for both households. Okay. If a bathroom is used by both households, then it will be treated as availability for both the households. If it is combined with latrine also, bathroom is combined with latrine also, we will code like that. They are having a latrine also and bathroom also. Okay, it should not be, it is not necessary that it should be an exclusive bathroom or exclusive latrine. It can be a combination of bathroom and latrine also. So this is focused on availability, not on numbers. You know that for all it is on the availability. So we have codes 1, 2, 3. First is exclusive room within the premises. We have a dedicated bathroom for that. Next is that we don't have a dedicated full-fledged bathroom, but a closed enclosure without roof is there. Okay. So that means we'll give code 2, and if there is no bathing facility within the premises, then code 3 will be given. Okay. So now this question is also after pretest, we thought that very much importance should be given, because we have seen that enumerators are either concentrating only on the LPG PNG connection. They are not asking whether where is your kitchen, inside house or outside house, whether there is a kitchen or not. People are just asking LPG connection is there, means they are getting answer for 2 questions. Okay, they'll just ask LPG, they'll give this answer, and then for the next main fuel also they will just put it. Just only 1 question, 2 answers. It's not like that. So this question has 2 parts. That is availability of kitchen, and also whether that household is having a connection of LPG or PNG. Okay. In this question, it is whether the main use, not main use or not, whether that household is having a LPG or PNG connection. Okay. So 2 parts it is there. So first enumerator has to ask where their meals is being cooked. Okay. Even though if it is inside, whether they are having a separate kitchen Okay, or are they cooking in the drawing room or somewhere a part of the place? Okay, so kitchen availability is important in this question. Then they have to ask whether they are having a LPG connection. Okay, I may be cooking using LPG, but I may not be having a gas connection. Whether it is possible? Yes. So here the connection, availability of connection for that particular household is important, and availability of the kitchen, where that kitchen is also very important. Yeah.
Sir, in one case, the hall was divided by the households itself to make a separate kitchen. So whether to be considered having kitchen or
The answer, you have the answer in your question, separate
so
kitchen.
we told, but they are saying, yeah, it is there like that.
Yeah, because you are in the question itself, you are having a separate kitchen, you are telling.
No, but it was like hall को उन्होंने ऐसे partition दिखा दिया था. Just they kept a partition over there to make it a separate kitchen.
How they made the partition?
Wooden something, I think, or the curtain something, probably.
Now we have in the modern houses, you have an open kitchen system. Open. You have all the paraphernalia of the kitchen, but they may not be fully covered with wall, partly covered with wall. Whether you will take it as a kitchen or not, it's a kitchen. Okay. So this is our code structure. It's like this 1, 2. That 1, 2 means a separate kitchen is there. Code 1 and 2. That is with LPG connection, without LPG connection. So here the thing is that separate kitchen facility should be there for that 1 and 2 codes. Then you decide whether there is LPG connection or not. The next is they are cooking inside house, but with no separate kitchen. Then again with LPG connection, without LPG connection, you bifurcate that. Next one comes outside house or open house. Okay, or in open with LPG connection, without LPG connection. And if household does not cook for any reasons, then you will give code number 7. So these are some of the pictorial representation. Okay, what is the first one?
First one is having kitchen with LPG connection.
Second one,
Second with cooking inside the house kitchen, but
having kitchen and
kitchen and cooking on
okay. Third one,
firewood
third one,
inside the house somewhere. Okay.
no LPG, but can it be PNG?
It can.
PNG means the cylinder is not necessary. Yes. So third question, okay, there is no gas cylinder, but PNG connection can be there. That wire is not visible. Okay, I'll put that wire also into that. Told you the connection is important. Here the connection is important because that is another, that is the evaluation of another, project of the government. Okay, about the connection. Because if we are asking only the main use, fuel use, this data government may not get. Okay, because they may be having the connection, but maybe not the main fuel. That is why this separate question is added.
Shalendra,
Yeah.
question number 24, actually the question is availability of kitchen and LPG PNG connection. In that code number 7, I think, is it related to this question? No cooking.
Yes.
So I have that, but question is about regarding that kitchen and LPG connection.
Yeah, I'll tell you why this is added. Because if some houses, we cannot leave some houses blank. Okay, some code should be given.
No kitchen.
Let me explain. Let me complete the question answer. So I'm going to one house. Okay, we are asking whether you have a kitchen, whether you have LPG connection. They are telling we don't need that because we don't have a cooking arrangement. Can we leave it blank?
Is only whether cooking or not, that is not question.
Availability of kitchen.
Availability of kitchen or LPG connection.
Yeah, because that question is not relevant to that house because they are not using kitchen at all. They are not using that room as a kitchen, or they are not about
So
the.
I don't have the kitchen, but I'm cooking outside.
You have a code for that?
Code is there.
Yes.
But like that, kitchen, I don't have the kitchen, but why you are asking that whether you are cooking or not like that?
No, this question is not whether you are not cooking. If I am going to a house and I am asking about availability of kitchen, do you have a kitchen? Do you have LPG connection? That household. Let me tell you, that household is going. We don't have any cooking arrangement. We are not cooking at home. So how will we code it?
That question doesn't arise, I think.
So okay, for this house, what will be the code given for this question? Okay, now we are going for the main fuel used for cooking. Okay, because we need to allocate some time for some things. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, so now here is in the previous question we asked whether they are having LPG connection or not. Okay, they'll be having some connection, or maybe now here it is main fuel used for cooking. Okay, if there is cooking arrangement, then next question is about fuel used for cooking, and our this thing focus is on major fuel question. So they may be having more than one. So which one we will, if there are more than one fuel, what we'll use? Major, predominant or majorly used. Okay. So there are some things you have to focus on. That's that. If a household has LPG connection or PNG connection but uses another fuel, for example, firewood mainly used, then our code will be one firewood. Okay. That's a pictorial representation. You can agree or disagree. Okay. Next one is that if cooking is done only with LPG connection or mainly with LPG connection, even without an official connection, that can be with a mini cylinder which does not need any connection, or that household is using some other's connection also, both way. Okay. So that doesn't mean that there is no validity check that household doesn't have a connection but still using LPG connection. It can happen. Okay. That you have to highlight. It can happen. Even if they are not having a connection, they are using LPG connection. Okay, then firewood means, okay, the timber of a tree can be a firewood, branches, tree trunks, shrubs, etc. will come in firewood. When you are coming to the crop residue, cotton or pulse stems or paddy, wheat, maize, straws, coconut husk, groundnut shell, etc. So in the local, according to the local, this thing you can explain with what tree. Okay, in Kerala we will tell that coconut tree means coconut trunk is a firewood. Okay, coconut husk is a crop residue. Like that, you can take local examples and explain to the enumerator. Okay, then LPG, you know, PNG is just piped natural gas. Okay, to explain that. All other are self-explanatory. Firewood is there, crop residue, coal, lignite or charcoal, kerosene, LPG, PNG, electricity, biogas, solar, and cow dung cake. Okay, now some questions. If water from tap is kept in bottles, will it be counted as bottled water?
Sir, where is the tap?
Huh?
Last time question, sir, where is the tap?
Where is the?
Tap inside.
Wherever it is.
Inside house.
Wherever it is, outside house also. It is not a bottled water.
It is not bottled.
In urban areas, many households have more than one latrine. Which type is to be recorded? Mainly by majority of the household members. If septic tanks are cleaned manually, will it be night soil removed by humans? No. Okay, you know that. Wastewater includes what all it includes?
Except sewage.
They can, nobody has seen the answer. Yeah. Except latrine, kitchen, bath, and wash water. Okay. If in the house there is a common closed drainage system for wastewater and latrine water, what is to be recorded? Okay, it's a closed drainage system. Whether kitchen shared by 2 or more households will be considered as available to all households. Yes. This yes, no? I'll come to the first. Because answer is coming for the second first. That's okay. So it is yes, no? Yeah. Okay, next question. A household is using wastewater for plants in its garden. What will be the code? It depends on how the water is going to the plant. No, am I right? Yeah. If there is a drainage system and a household made additional arrangements redirecting water to the garden, then it depends upon whether it is a closed drainage or not. Or if there is no drainage and if it is directly go to the plants, it is no drainage. Okay. So these are the examples of these things you can cite to the enumerators. Okay, that's all for this session. I think tea will be ready, Pradhan.
So now we will move regarding question about assets. So these are the questions 26 to 34, not 34 actually, 26 to 32. And 33 and 34 are other questions regarding assets: radio, transistor, television, access to internet, computer, telephone, bicycle, two-wheeler and four-wheeler. So this is general guideline regarding asset questions to be recorded for all normal households. So for institutional households, these questions should not be asked. Assets can be possessed by any member, not only head of the households. So particularly these smartphones or mobile phones, these are generally possessed by the young generation in the household. So the enumerator has to probe in the household that assets can be possessed by any one of the member. Should be reasonable working order and source ownership is not necessary for any asset. Assets given by the employer or office will be deemed to be available to the household. So laptop given by office to our employees or any employees, it can be considered as asset available to the household. Car also, yes. Even mobile also, some people get mobile also. Then assets possessed and available to the household will be considered as available even it is mainly used for commercial purposes. This is mainly for four-wheeler. Then do not record the number of assets. So in I think in mobile app it is not possible to record number of assets. Initially in 2011 some enumerators were used to record number of assets because there were manually he has to write the numbers. But this has to be brought to the notice of enumerator. Now the first question, radio transistor. So though it is a question on assets, it's again a combination of, in my opinion, combination of assets and services. Because traditional radio set is basically as asset, but listening radio on mobile or smartphone or other devices is a service he's accessing. Because for smartphone we have another question whether he is having smartphone or mobile, so that asset part is taken in that question, and here we are just emphasizing on the which services he is using to listen the radio. So here if traditional radio set is available with the household, then the code 1 is to be recorded, and if multiple devices are used to listen the radio, then the primary device most frequently used by the household members is to be recorded. So is it clear here? Because in pretest we have observed that if any household is having smartphone or mobile phone, the enumerator has to write that yes, he is listening radio on the smartphone, but the enumerator has to ask whether he is having any traditional radio set. So traditional radio set always preferred in comparison to the other services or other means when the whichever means are using by the household to listen the radio, because the main purpose is to get the information about the asset, and the second purpose is to get the information about means of uh, different devices to listen the radio. Got it? So these are some pictures. The first one is the household is having traditional radio set. The second one, they are listening radio through the smartphone. The third one, other devices which are like car stereo or something else. And there are four codes: traditional radio set on mobile, smartphone, other devices, and no. So here again. Like we have debated this question after pretest again. If a household is having smartphone, he is not listening the radio through the smartphone, but he has access. There is, if anytime he wants to listen the radio, he can access through smartphone to radio. So it should be considered as yes. So we will move to next question, television. So here again, it's a combination of asset as well as services. We are taking availability of TV set as well as the means of watching the television. So there are five codes. First is Doordarshan free dish. Then second is other DTH or dish, like paid services by private dish or DTH providers. Then third is cable connection, TV services received via local or multi-system cable operator. Fourth one is any other like internet protocol television. And fourth one is no, household does not have television. So no means that TV set is not available in the household. So here I think it is clear for all the codes. Then access to internet, it's again a service, not asset. If the household has access to internet within census house, so it was added in some of the clarification, because some question was asked in the pretest. If a person is accessing internet in the office, will it be considered as it is available? So within the census out, it should be available access to internet and household by the household through modes like dial-up. So these are the modes: dial-up, DSL, digital subscriber line, cable, satellite, or Wi-Fi, etc. Then, if internet is accessed on more than one device, select the device which is primarily or predominantly used by the household. In pretest, it was given that on priority, the code has to be given that if the household is using internet on mobile and laptop both, then laptop code for laptop should be given on priority. But it was again debated, it was again discussed, and it was decided that if internet is accessed on more than one device, or if all the members of the household are accessing internet on different devices, then the primarily or predominantly used device should be recorded. So here again there are four codes: on laptop computer, on mobile smartphone, on any other device, and no internet. Then the availability of asset regarding laptop or computer. So there are two codes: yes or no, simple. If the household has a laptop or computer for use by one or more members of the household. So here again, the enumerator has to probe regarding all the members of the household. It is not case that only head of the household can use laptop or computer. If they are using, if any member of the household is using laptop, computer, yes should be recorded, or otherwise no should be recorded. Then telephone, mobile phone, smartphone. So there are again five codes. First is for landline only. Second is smartphone only. Third is other basic mobile. Fourth is for both, that is landline and mobile phone. And fifth one is for no. So it's again asset, actual asset available in the household. Advanced mobile phones have facilities similar to TV. No. So actual possession of TV or computer is necessary for entry in these questions. Then two-wheeler, bicycle, scooter, motorcycle or moped. So here we have four codes: one for bicycle, tricycle used by disabled persons will also be included in this. Then code number 2 is having two-wheeler such as scooter, motorcycle or moped, or any motorized two-wheeler. Code 3, if the household possesses both. And code 4, if they do not possess any of the above. And for four-wheeler, there are two options only, yes and no. So ask the respondent whether household owns a four-wheeler such as car, jeep or van, and it include vehicles like MUV and SUV, sports car, etc. So there will be two codes: one, yes if available any of the above vehicle with any member of the household, and no if none of the vehicle is possessed. So these are the questions. First question: auto rickshaw, e-rickshaw, tempo, etc. be considered as any of these columns?
मैडम इससे प्रीवियस थोड़ा इससे प्रीवियस वाले में देखिए, उसमें ओन लिखा हुआ है, पजेस वाला नहीं लिखा है इसमें.
पजेस है वो.
ओन लिख रखा है.
हाँ.
इसमें पजेशन वाला
पजेशन आएगा, पजेस आएगा.
ये थोड़ा देख लीजिए.
क्वेश्चन 1.
कल आएगा कुछ
एक ही बार जवाब आएगा या मैं प्रेस करूं या नहीं? सेकंड क्वेश्चन.
How it will be
What
recorded?
is? What is? No. For both or single?
available to both.
Whether it will be both.
नंबर ऑफ गाड़ी बढ़ जाएगा इंडिया में.
It is not for both.
Third one. Yes. Fourth one.
ओला ऊपर मेरे पास एक्सेस हमें नहीं. यस बस ओला ऊपर एक्सेस हमें.
Yes.
ओला ऊपर का एक्सेस मेरे पास.
Yes.
यस.
Sure. Then question number 33. It's a miscellaneous question. Main cereals consumed by the household. So here we have 6 codes.
Miscellaneous question.
It's not assets, it's not amenity.
Okay,
It's a miscellaneous question. So consumption includes both homegrown and purchased cereals or products, and select the appropriate code. So we have these 6 codes: rice, wheat, jawar, bajra, maize, any other. So mainly consumed in the household, that cereal has to be mentioned here. दोनों खा रहे, रोटी चावल दोनों खा रहे, तो वॉट एवर मैक्सिमम जो ज्यादा खरीद रहे हैं क्वांटिटी वही लेना है यहाँ पे. कुछ की प्रोडक्ट्स दिए हैं यहाँ पे साइड में. अगर मेन सीरियल नहीं खा रहे, उसके की प्रोडक्ट्स खा रहे हैं. सो यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा पूछना है सबको. एंड देन लास्ट क्वेश्चन इज मोबाइल नंबर. इट इज ओनली फॉर सेंसस रिलेटेड कम्युनिकेशंस एंड इट शुड बी फंक्शनल एक्टिव. ये इंश्योर करना है हाउस होल्ड से. For lock and vacant houses, record the household members' mobile number if provided by neighbors. ये लास्ट वाला पॉइंट इसलिए इम्पोर्टेंट है कि विद इन हाउस लिस्टिंग पीरियड अगर लॉक हाउस वाला आपका हाउस होल्ड वापस आ जाता है, देन यू हैव टू विजिट एंड गेट द इंफॉर्मेशन. और फॉर पी रिलेटेड कुछ हमें कम्युनिकेशंस करना है, तो दैट कम्युनिकेशन कैन बी डन विद द हाउस होल्ड.